The gentleman from Texas is recognized for 4 minutes.
And I thank the gentlelady for yielding. You know, it is a lot of money that we're talking about, but it's not just the volumes of money. It's the velocity with which we're spending money over these last 2 years. Yes, the coronavirus was terrible. Yes, the American economy needed some help. But we passed a big American Rescue Plan in February, and the states and municipalities as of this date have spent 2.5% of that money. Now, I'm also on the Committee on Energy and Commerce. We are one of the principal authorizing committees in the United States House of Representatives. Have we had a single hearing on how much money we have pushed out to the healthcare sector, to the states, to municipalities? No, we have not. Have we had a single hearing of what is likely to be required going forward? And the answer is no, we have not. So I penned a letter to Frank Pallone, the chairman of the Energy and Commerce Committee, asking him, could we please do just a modicum of the oversight that we're required to do in the Committee on Energy and Commerce, Mr. Speaker? And I'd ask that this, ask unanimous consent that this may be part of the record.
Without objection.
You know, we've heard over and over again that what awaits is a manufactured crisis. You know, the American people have some experience now with dealing with manufactured crises. Since January of this year, they've seen a never-ending array of manufactured crises. Look, I live in Texas. It's a border state. There are a lot of problems on the southern border. We hear about it every time we turn on the news. The border wall was supposed to be built that was to help that problem, but there are stacks and stacks of material to build that border wall that are just sitting because the current administration has put a pause on all of that and says we're not building anymore. So what's going to happen to all of that material that was paid for with borrowed money that, yes, is part of the debt? What's going to happen to that? It's going to be stolen. It's going to be diverted to some other use, probably to no good end. But had that wall been in place, the streams of people that were coming across the border at Del Rio a couple of weeks ago, maybe that could have been interrupted. The Dallas Morning News on Sunday had a story about how 250 buses transported Haitians from Central America up to the lower Rio Grande Valley. 250 buses. Could our Department of Homeland Security not have had some visibility on who was renting 250 buses to bring the 15,000 people to the southern border? Maybe they could have spent some of that money in that regard. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but gas is $1 a gallon more than it was 9 months ago. We are in for a cold winter, Mr. Speaker. It would be nice to have some provisions to deal with that cold winter, but this administration has turned a blind eye to the energy needs of the constituents, our constituents in this country. It's almost as if they wanted to harm the people of this country. I know that's not true. I know them to be good people, but at the same time, what I hear from my constituents is an incredible amount of frustration with what is coming from the administration, what is coming from the Congress. It's time we took care of the needs of the American people, and we ought to get on with it. I yield back.
The gentleman yields. The gentlewoman reserves. The gentleman from Massachusetts is recognized.